Welcome back to Good Morning Nigeria, and we are live on the network service. Don't go away. Newspaper review will be back in just a moment.
All right, Chukwudi Abuja is right here with us this morning. Good to have you, Chukwudi. How you doing?
I'm okay. Morning. How are you doing too?
Very well.
Hello, Claire.
Hello, Chukwudi.
I was almost caught unawares there because I didn't hear our usual sting.
But I was.
You were.
It's
okay.
I was trying to.
When that
I was trying to
happens
flex.
in programming, you take it in stride.
I was trying to flex.
And be human.
These things happen.
The BBC presenter was caught punching the air.
I mean, what can we say? Can we say we just get on? All right, yeah.
All right, let's see what the papers have this morning. We begin with the Vanguard newspaper. And the Vanguard leads with federal government vows equal response as U.S. tightens visa rules. The writers, embassy now requires 5-year social media history for visa applicants. U.S. government revokes 6,000 students' visas. Interagency meeting to fashion out federal government's response. All right, above the masthead, we have 2.2 million poor households to receive federal government's cash transfer. That's according to the minister. And beside that, we have NGE raises alarm over economy insecurity, media suppression. U.S. British government, Northern can Lord federal government, NSA over arrest of terror kingpins. Details on page 9, and just above that, we have Revenue Commission begins fresh allocation formula. Details on page 19. Let's look below the front page of the Vanguard newspaper now. Just below the picture story, we have paternity crisis. 1 in 4 Nigerian fathers, not biological parents. You want to find out where that report is coming from. All right, page 10 has that. Another one here says 2027, that's the kicker. Atiku will be Amechi will stay united without presidential ticket. That's according to the AGC. And we have Northeast ICPC, Attorney Generals brainstorm to tackle corruption and insecurity. And finally, on the front page of the Vanguard, we have U.S. pledges support for Kiev amid Russia-Ukraine peace talks. All right, so that's it on the Vanguard. Quickly look at the Daily Times. Daily Times has contractors besiege FCTA over 5 billion naira debt as Wike denies awarding contracts. All right, you want to see that? Page 2 has that. Below the picture story, of course, the visit of President Tinubu is gracing the front pages of the papers this morning. But we'll look away from that to see some of the headlines we have here. Over 3 million displaced by flood insecurity in Nigeria, according to the federal government. Why we review revenue sharing formula. All right, that's right here on page 6. INEC pre-registered 69,376 voters online in 7 hours. Impressive. That's on page 11. Tinubu arrives Japan for TCAD 9 to deepen ties, push African investment agenda. And finally, in the red strip, we have 54 billion naira education spending questionable. FENRAD tells Abia governor. All right, so that's it. Claire.
All right, let's quickly take a look at the blueprint. And the blueprint, it's leading with a caption, U.S. hails Nigerian government. NAF airstrikes set 62 captives free in Katsina. And there are riders there. Just a little below the nameplate there. Why review of revenue allocation formula is inevitable. That is the Revenue Mobilization Commission there speaking. And federal government slashes dialysis treatment in public hospitals from 50,000 naira to 12,000 naira. It's trending just above the nameplate and just a little below the picture story. Glitches. JAMB gives October deadline to public varsities on 2025 admissions. Screens more than 6,400 UTME candidates results over high-tech cheating. And Plateau court grants 20 suspected killers of Mangon travelers bail. All right, I think that's about the paper we have. Chukwudi.
Yes,
I know the one you're going to start with.
Yeah, you don't know anything.
I think I do.
Well, if they grant bail to suspected killers, they have to be very sure that they have not really been proven culpable, you know. Otherwise, I know that the ones who don't bail easily, arson is there, homicide is there. There's another one, is treason or so. You know, you don't grant bail easily on that. So let them be sure. Because at the end of the day, we are saying that justice must be served. Yes. Continuous voter registration area, you mentioned that 69,376 were registered rather speedily. And I say here speed and efficiency. It seems that INEC are now primed to act. We keep on saying here, let us be proactive and not reactive, so that we'll be ready properly by the time, you know, it gets to time to cast your ballot.
So you can now go back to the first story on your mind.
No, the first story on my mind will be the last story still. Quickly, they are praising us for getting these terror kingpins. It's not just the Mahmouda leader now. It's spreading. There's one name, though, I've not heard yet, Toji Bello, you know. But as I keep saying, I regard these people as our people, you know. Some people accuse me of always, you know, waving the pacifist agenda. I say, it's not just that, really. The removal of one person means that we're not as complete as we were yesterday. So can we all reform and redeem so that we can live together? But in the meantime,
I think it's very. We must not just gloss over the commendations coming from the U.S. You know, I think we should take it very seriously. It goes to show, you know, some confidence now, you know, in the ability of the Nigerian military to track down, you know, these terrorists. And this Ansaru guy, you know, is one of the, you know, terror leaders, you know, that's been terrorizing even, you know, part of the Sahel.
Yes.
So if the Nigerian military, you know, was able to track him down and arrest him,
yes,
then that calls for, you know, I mean, a very big pat on the back. So U.S. hailing us is just a confirmation, you know, of what we already know before, and we say that the Nigerian military you know, they have the capacity and the capability, you know, to rout this, you know.
They always did. It's just that some circumstances extraneous to professionalism has been impeding.
You know, you said something, that these people are part of us.
Of course, yes.
They are within the community. So sometimes you also find, you know, resistance, you know, trying, okay, if we do this,
yes,
you know, what do you now call it? You know, the consequences,
yes,
of course, might be a lot.
Sometimes the African kinsmanship kicks in and criminality is allowed to blossom. You know, we pay the price ultimately, you know.
And that's why they're calling for the constitutional powers to be given to traditional leaders. And yes, I know that the former immediate past governor of Plateau State, that's who's the senator now, Senator Lalong, yes, Simon Bako Lalong, is taking that up seriously. And I know that he's pushing ahead to ensure that some degree of powers are ascribed, you know, to the traditional rulers in the Constitution.
Two quick ones before the last story. The tit for tat that seems to be about to ensue between the U.S. and Nigeria over visa, you know. I like the Nigerian response. They say two can play at that game. You're not the only one who reserves mischief. It's just that some of us try to tell the devil, you stay in the background so that God will always be in the vanguard. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good response from Nigeria, but just that more Nigerians to suffer.
Well, it's okay. Don't put us in a subservient...
I think it's called the principle of reciprocity.
Reciprocity. Yes.
That's just it. But
yes,
for you to do that, for you to activate that, you must have the capacity, you know, to be able to sustain.
The one that actually irks me is your social media activity in the past 5 years. So where I wrote about, I think it was 2016, Trump's not a Trump card. When they get that one, maybe they're going to say, you don't like our president.
That's more than 5 years, so they may not check that. Anyways, the story that interests me this morning is this federal government slashes dialysis treatment in public hospitals.
Exactly.
From 50,000 naira to 12,000
And 10 hospitals will start it, but
Fantastic.
other FMCs would, join suit. My brother's wife died of we could only do 3 months of dialysis. She died just 1.5 months ago. So I am involved.
Yeah,
I was involved.
This is good.
I am really happy about it.
Sorry about that too.
Very well, sorry about your loss, but this is good, I mean, for those who are receiving treatment.
Yes.
And then another story that interests me is contractors besiege FCTA over 5 billion naira debt as Wike denies awarding contract. What's going on?
Verification is required there. You verify that actually a contract was awarded, you have all your proof and all that. I am one of those who have joined Go to Court, because that's where it gets resolved. How can a minister award a contract and say he didn't award it? So maybe he didn't award it.
Maybe when we, because we're just looking at the front pages,
yes.
maybe if we...
The bowels of the story.
We'll probably get more, because from what I get, I don't know how you read it, minister denying awarding contracts.
Yes.
He didn't award this contract.
Exactly.
So who did? And then why the contractors...
That's why I said, how can a minister award a contract and say he didn't award it? So maybe he didn't award it.
But
we have been fair as journalists in our assessment.
It probably wasn't under his tenure.
In his
but
tenure,
again, like we say, government is...
It's a continuity.
Continue.
It continues.
Yeah,
you inherit liabilities, not just assets.
I mean, this government inherited liability. I mean, we all know.
The last story now.
Yes.
1 in 4 Nigerian fathers, not biological parents.
Who did that report?
And you say, don't ask questions that are going to stop my analysis.
You're a journalist, you're a veteran.
This
and
is
then you always like to...
And I want to talk like a veteran. So can some, young people in the trade let me talk? Now, no woman and no man can deny that in the first 45 years of their life, somebody in the opposite sex does not tempt them. It happens. That's natural. It starts actually from you're driving a car and a shapely woman walks past you, you're doing something like this.
But
that is partly a sin.
No, but Chukwudi, that is not what this report is saying.
It is not. No. I am building up. You won't let... I'm the analyst, please.
No, because you are delving too much. You are being dramatic and, can you get on
You are being preemptive, mischievously preemptive. Now, the question is this. If it is true that 1 out of 4 Nigerian fathers are not really the father of their children, that means either there's promiscuity or impotency is rising. I knew where I was going. I'm a reporter. You go to the impotency could be rising. There are some women who would not want to go out with another man, but having a child for it's in my, directly my family.
That aspect could be cultural.
We have that case.
I know
you understand?
I know in some parts of the country that is allowed. I mean, within the cultural
I don't
context.
know whether it's allowed or what I'm talking about.
Within the cultural context, yes. For instance, in the Southeast, for instance, a widow is allowed to, I don't know how to
No, you could go and have a child. For your...
Yes.
It happens.
It happens.
It happens.
But in this particular case, Chukwudi, I think what is happening is it's eroding of our morals. And the generation, if you... I haven't read that story. If you read the generation... Probably.
You haven't read the story, but you're talking about erosion of our morals. How would
yes,
you
because if how many children?
1 in 4.
One in 4. How about Chukwudi?
That's alarming. But I want you to go reportorial about it. I still want to look at the possible incidents of rising impotency, prompting some people to do certain things. You see, every topic in the world is serious. It depends on how you handle it. I keep saying this to reporters. It's
yeah,
not sex talk.
what paper was that?
You understand?
Vanguard.
So let's find out what is happening. What is responsible for this? You will be helping society with what you find out at the end of the day, before we make it a comical, outing.
Well, I would choose to see this story differently. I would want to find out who did this report and how true it is. And I mean, it's just an attack on the women, really, because when you say paternity crisis, 1 of 4 Nigerian fathers not biological parents, so we're talking about women now being
it takes two to tango.
Extramarital affairs.
It takes two to tango, please. A woman does not impregnate herself. There are 2 criminals in the case.
The report was done by one smart DNA. This is an outfit. It's a data-driven outfit.
You're sure they're not just being sensational?
Exactly, because I mean, how many?
That's why I said it requires reportorial inquiry.
before
Take
coming
it
up with
seriously.
this conclusion?
Take
I mean,
it
1 of
seriously.
4 is alarming.
It's somewhat alarming. I said here, I've had some experiences, in this direction, but it depends on how much you hold yourself back. Temptation would always come your way. Don't pretend about it. It is how you respond to it that matters to society. You understand? Yes, Claire, you were saying something.
Yes. Listen, the gender of tested children also reveal cultural leanings. 53.8% were male, pointing to continued emphasis on verifying male lineage for reasons possibly linked to inheritance and family name preservation, which is what we have just said.
Can you see what reportorial can do?
Now, we are also seeing more people come forward with doubts they've harbored for years. Some of these cases involve emotional trauma and even financial exploitation.
Don't push your wife to the point that she needs a shoulder to lean on. Everybody's human. See whether you can handle that crisis. You see, we're talking psychology now. You can push people into committing a sin. I'm not saying that at the gate of hell or heaven, you're going to tell God, now my mama make me do them. But the truth is that, look, I've experienced a few things in life. There are some women who actually get pushed into sordid things. So the problem with Africa is that the psychological part of our health is not considered at all. Somebody recommended I go see a psychologist after my last experience with that boy, then my wife's matter. And I went to the man a week ago. I came back filled. So we need psychological inquiry into how our people live and preempt some of these things. It's a serious matter that should be taken seriously.
Anyways, I just think that this report should be probed further. I would not want to agree that this is the accurate statistics.
It's rather alarming.
Accurate statistics.
No, but you really don't have to agree or disagree. We're just looking at this is somebody's work. We don't know the methodology. We don't know the approach.
But I'm saying that this kind of report could cause more damage, right? Because someone is going to read this today and begin to think that, oh well, maybe something is wrong.
Are you going to ask the head of news to give you permission to do a proper report? It always stops with us. Whether politicians are evil, they're bad, it stops at your table as a journalist. That's the truth. Some people tell me, the ones who they talk before, what did they do? We don't tire. You don't get tired as a journalist to probe society's foibles and their crimes as well.
All right.
I'm done.
I think, again, just like the topic we are doing today, humanitarian, World Humanitarian Day, this report is a call to action. Everybody.
Exactly.
Everybody. Both journalists.
I hope I sounded like a counselor today.
Both parents, government, and everybody. We need to.
You're right.
Because a lot is happening.
You're right.
The world is changing, not just climate change.
That's a good one, Claire. You can't even call it social change.
Morals.
No, it's not moral change. We call in our time as young journalists moral decadence.
Okay, moral decadence. No, I'm just trying to, take a cue from the climate change issue. Anyways, Claire, I think we're done. Many thanks, Chukwudi.
Thank you so much.
And,
thank you.
It's time to save for DNA,
that was robust.
Right?
Thank you.
You didn't hear what I said last?
What did you say?
It's time to save for DNA. All right, so we'll take a break. When we come back, we get into our topic.